Hello again, my friends. Welcome back to the devlog for Trinity Training, a React Native application I'm building for triathletes. So in the last video, we talked about going through the onboarding process and building that out in React. I've been relearning React, so a lot of documentation, videos, all that sort of stuff to get myself familiarized with React Native. So this is what we're currently building. We are building the main page for login and sign up, and then we're going to the onboarding process for the user, basically determine if they are a beginner, intermediate or expert in swimming, biking, running respectively, and then from there then we'll build out the custom plans and the things that they need to work on. So what I've done so far is in the application you can see I have the buttons in for the sign on. I currently just have a skip button so you can go to the next page to go to the onboarding. I am not loving how the default buttons work in React Native for iOS specifically, so I'm going to have to build out the actual button UI, which is no issue, but just relearning all of this now, getting back into React Native, basically building out the shell of the application at the moment with the buttons and whatnot, and then this will be like the core of the application, the tabs page, where you'll have your tabs at the bottom and then your training plans that will be built depending on your current ability and preferences, really, because some people can only train a certain amount of times a week, and we want to factor that in as well to our training plans. So basically what I've done so far is set up the project, started at setting up the navigation for the application. I did go down the route of the React native stack, so that's the one that is bundled with React Native, but I realized I'm already using Expo for this project, so that I then transitioned over to the Expo router, which I am enjoying much more because it's more like Next.js in the fact that you have file-based routing, so you have tabs and then all your tabs will be within here. I can just direct the users to the workout, home, profile pages, dynamically route them to pages that already exist just within the file structure. Don't have to set up any crazy stuff for routing. So yes, very much enjoying the file-based routing of Expo and just getting familiar with Expo. Haven't really used that before, but yeah, getting myself back into React Native over the past couple of days. Expo, really enjoying that, and yeah, getting back to it. Got a couple of tutorials that I'm following for the setup of that. I did go with Nativewind for the styling. I did like how React Native did it, but I think this might be a bit more familiar to me because I've used Tailwind before, and I know it's like CSS with the React Native, but I think getting Tailwind on board early and then not maybe pivot into it after when it gets a bit more complicated might just be much better off for me. So I'm going to stick with Tailwind for now and then carry on with that into the project. Just want to get this MVP out as fast as possible, get in front of users, and then so we can get to product market fit as fast as possible. So I've been changing the routes up, doing all that. Had a bit more thought on what I was talking about with Supabase. So I think I will go with Supabase for one specific reason, and this is the reason for Auth, because when I was setting up projects with Prisma and Auth, it's good and they do have good tooling for it, but I always felt like it took a long time to implement that with Prisma and Postgres, where this is an off-the-shelf solution, and for an MVP that you want to get out quickly, I feel like this is going to save a lot of time. I'm not trying to do anything crazy with the Auth. As soon as you're in, it's just gonna we want to be able to hold your information on the database, do as little writing and reading from the database as possible, keep everything within the app, all the logic within the app, and then we'll just kind of save all the information back to the database. I want to do all of the compute, really, all the logic within the application, and then just use that for storage. But I think because they have Postgres database integrated into Supabase, I was already going to use Postgres, so I'll enjoy that. And then where it has storage for files, I've not used this before, but I feel like that might help us in this situation when we do progress to add in social. So basically the big way I want this app to be shared is socially. Like you would do with Strava, you would just basically say like, this is the run I did today, check me out on Trinity. So yeah, that's the plan. It's been a bit difficult learning everything again and then going back through it, but I've been enjoying it. It's all a process. Want to get this MVP out as quickly as possible so that we can get it in front of users. But yeah, at the end of the day, I've still got my 9 to 5 to be working, so I'm just working in the evenings. Usually put the kids to bed, 2 kids, 9 to 5, so finding the time to do it is a bit tricky. But yeah, in the evenings. I usually do an hour or two each evening, get some progress into the app, try and make some visible headway, because that always helps. Actually, like, making visible progress when you're learning things is a bit tricky to see yourself progressing through. But I feel like, yeah, if you can make some visual changes every now and again as you're learning, then it helps you keep the momentum up in your application. So yeah, I'll try and keep you up to date with little updates like this every few days, just to let you know how I'm getting on. If you like them, then let me know, stick around, and I'll see you soon for the next video.